Call 510-742-5887.
And now, from the San Francisco Bay Area studios, KLOK proudly presents to you the prominent attorney Shaw Pirelli for the Shaw Pirelli Law Show, coming at you with over 50,000 watts of power. The Shaw Pirelli Law Show, where all your views matter.
Hello everybody. Assalamu alaikum, Sastika, Namaskar to all the listeners. This is Attorney Shaw Pirelli for a new show. Today is Friday, noon to 1. We are trying a new show and we're going to see how it works for the community. And those who don't know me, I'll introduce myself in a minute. But first I wanted to thank Franco for really kind of putting this together for us, and also Gwen for helping us, and the entire KLOK team. So today we're going to talk a little bit. First of all, before I start, anything that I'm telling you today is my opinion. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. Everything is provided at an educational level, so it is not legal advice. If you have any questions, the number to our office is 510-742-5887. And today is November 10th. We are live, so we will be taking calls live. And the number to the studio today is 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. But first, let me quickly introduce myself for those who don't listen to my show, probably on Thursdays, and don't know about the show. My name is Shaw Pirelli. I'm the founder of the Shaw Pirelli Law Group. We have been in business, I should put it, for now almost 13 years, and we have been practicing mostly immigration law, but we also deal with debt settlement. And you can check my name online, Shaw Pirelli, and you will have a better idea what I've done and what we have accomplished with the law team. Our law firm pretty much has handled very complex cases, especially in employment-based immigration, when it comes to cases with I-140 petitions, H-1B, you name it. Pretty much everything when it comes to immigration we have handled, and we have been very successful in most of our cases. Lately we have been very successful on EB1 cases, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about EB1c, because a new memo came out, and this memo is really important because it is going to kind of determine for EB1c cases now in the future. And this memo is based on a case which is called the Matter of G-Inc. And what this memo does, it talks about functional managers, right? So there are two kinds of managers, but mainly functional managers we're going to talk about here. These are where you basically have a manager where they are not really managing people, but their function is a managerial position. And according to the AAO, the Administrative Appeal Office, where this case came out, which now is adopted by the USCIS, there are four things that basically needs to be met in order for someone to qualify as in a managerial position. But let me rewind a little bit and talk a little bit about the EB1c itself. In order to get the EB1c, you need to meet basically three criteria, I call it, but there are more. But the main one is that you have to have worked in a managerial capacity in the past 3 years for 1 year in the company abroad, and the company abroad has to be either a branch, a subsidiary, or an affiliate. And of course, they have to transfer you also in a capacity, a managerial or executive capacity. And this is what they're talking about here. What qualifies for that? So the function, those are the four criteria that are set by the AAO. Number one, the function is clearly defined activity, right? So basically, you have to define it clearly that this is a function. It's not a regular managerial role where you're managing a lot of people. Number two, the function is essential. That is a core to the organization. That means it's not like you just made up a function and you put it in there. It's not going to work. So you need to have what we call a core of the essential position. Number four, the beneficiary will primarily manage as opposed to perform the function. This is very, very important because a manager technically doesn't really do the work. They manage other people who are doing the work, or the work that is being processed maybe by a machine or something. So make sure that you're managing. And number four, the beneficiary will act at a senior level within the organization hierarchy or with respect to the function managed. So it has to be basically a high level position. And then number five, well, I would keep saying four, there are five requirements. Then number five, the beneficiary will exercise discretion over the function of the day-to-day operations. That means basically that beneficiary will have the power to really make the decisions on the situation. So it's very important that you know that you meet those requirements. Then you will fall into the category of managerial position. So ladies and gentlemen, today, like I said, I'm talking about the EB1c, and I'm working from home. So it's really becoming a big trend that people will apply for EB1c. They will leave the country and come back, and then ultimately go on EB1c. And this is where it gets really tricky, because when they come back, they don't meet the requirements of the EB1c, then 1 year is lost abroad. So it's very important that at the outset you actually kind of make sure that you're meeting those requirements. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to talk about today, because I know a lot of our listeners are in this field, and they pretty much kind of want to be to get a green card, especially if you're from India, where basically the green card for EB2 is a long waiting time. And that's what they were talking about here, and that's why they made it clear. By the way, in this case, the matter of G, that is you have a situation where the client, the person who appealed actually won. So this is a good news. But at the same time, now they pretty much clearly define what is a managerial function manager requirements. Those five requirements. I correct myself. It's not four requirements. It's five requirements. So now the next question. I don't know if I have more. I have callers right now. Franco, do I have any callers? This is Sharp. Are you alive in here? Hello. Okay. So I thought we had some callers. So I apologize for that. The number to the studio is 408-912-5565. 408-912-5565. And you can call live and ask your question. Anything pertaining to immigration. Doesn't have to be EB1A or EB1C or EB1B. It can be adjustment of status. It can be H1B, I-140 petition, you name it, and we will be glad to answer. Like I said, today is a first on Friday. I think it's the first time on Friday I do the show at this time. So many people don't know about it at this point, but ultimately you will know about it. So feel free to call if you have any questions. 510-742-5887 is the number to our office, but the number to the studio is 408-912-5565. And I was talking about those requirements for EB1c. EB1c is ultimately the green card that usually attaches to the L1A. Having said that, you don't have to be on an L1A to get an EB1c. I repeat that. You don't have to have come on an L1A to get an EB1c. EB1c is totally independent. Although the requirements are very similar to an L1A, it doesn't require you to have. For example, I had clients who came on H1B. We got them an EB1c. I have clients on L1B who got EB1c. I think we had even one student, if I'm not mistaken, who got an EB1c. So it is very interesting to get an EB1c. And the truth is that L1A itself, if you look at it, which is kind of very similar to the EB1c, except it's not a green card. L1A, if you use it properly, it can almost be an investor visa, especially for people coming from India where there's no investor visa. Well, of course, there's the EB5, which I don't count, but at the end of the day, you might be able to use the L1A ultimately to get a green card in the U.S. So I recommend, if you need help with any EB1 case, any case in immigration, of course, give us a call at the office. 510-758-87. Now, today we started the show. Like I said, it's Friday. Usually, for those who listen to my show, we are mostly answering questions from the audience. But of course, this is a new show, so the course will be a little bit slower. But that gives me time to cover the topics that I've been trying to cover. Unfortunately, when I have those shows, I get so many calls. I don't have time really to cover all the issues that are there. So the website you can check, which is our website, is attorneyonair.com or piralilaw.com, where we cover topics like on a regular basis. I try to update it as much as possible myself, and our team also helps on that. So what I wanted to talk about also today is this sad story about this DACA recipient. DACA is a deferred action for childhood arrivals. There's kids that came here basically through their parents and ended up getting a work permit through Obama, but now it's going away. Ultimately, someone today got arrested, and that's really kind of scaring a lot of people because technically DACA thought they were protected, but in this case, the difference is that he got arrested because he was crossing the border. If you're on DACA, and I know some people in our community are on DACA, I recommend you don't travel unless you have an advance parole, which you can request under DACA. I don't recommend anybody to actually do travel. Let me take one caller, Franco. This is Shapura. You are live on air.
Yeah, hi. I have a question, but we are U.S. citizen, and I wanted to apply green card for my in-laws. So what is the time process for it, and do we just follow all the forms that are available online, or is there any extra steps we should be taking?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, in order for you to apply for your in-laws, it's a two-step process. Well, actually, three-step process. Number one, you file an I-130 petition. Not you, but your husband, because he's the one who has to apply for his parents. And he's a U.S. citizen also, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in this case, yes, he can apply. The first form is I-130, and you follow the instructions on this, and they will ask also for the G325A and some other supporting documents like birth certificate, proof of relationship, etc., etc. Then once this is approved, the case will go. That takes around 6 months to get approved, 4 months to 6 months. Once this is approved, then the case will go to the National Visa Center. Unless your in-laws are already in the U.S. when you file, then it will go to the National Visa Center. National Visa Center will process the case, and they will ask you for affidavit of support, I-864. They will ask you for your tax return, etc., etc. And if they have any documents that they want, they will send you a list. Of course, before they send you that list, you have to pay the fees. Then once this is approved, then it will go to the U.S. Embassy for an interview. And once you get the interview, you pass the interview, they will come here. Altogether, the process takes between 9 months to 1 year when you are outside the country. Now, if your in-laws were inside the U.S., for example, on a visitor visa, etc., you might be able to file what we call an adjustment of status. That means basically you file all the forms together, I-130, I-45, etc., etc., and also I recommend filing the EAD and also the advance parole in case they want to travel and the case get delayed. In those cases, once you file it, that person becomes on what we call a period of stay authorized by the Attorney General under Section INA 245A, which allows them to stay and get a work permit. So there are two ways to do that. If you do it inside, they can stay, and it takes around 6 to 8 months. If you do it outside, it takes around 1 year, 9 months to 1 year. Okay?
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay? And if you need help on doing the case and it is too complicated, sometimes the paperwork gets complicated, you can give us a call, 510-742-5887. Okay? Good luck to you.
I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that's good. You know, during the Thursday shows, I barely have time to really go over things in details like that because we have so many callers. But today, of course, this is a new show, so we have limited number of callers. So it gives me a chance to really kind of cover the topics that we want to really cover. And the question we got from this caller is very interesting, how to file the petition for your parents. But it is not difficult, but it's not easy because there's a lot of paperwork. So if you need help doing those cases, we can help you. 510-742-5887 and attorneyonair.com. I think we have another caller. Oh, okay, the caller dropped. This is Shapra. You're live on air.
Hi. I need advice on what is your predictions on EB2, because it's been pending. I mean, it's not moving at all for the last year. So, especially for EB2.
Yeah, that's $1 million question. I usually do some forecasts at least, but I've stopped doing it since Trump took power because I didn't. In order to do a forecast, you have to look at the political climate also. And in this case, until we got a trend, it was hard to kind of do the predictions. But now I think at this point we can do it. I think what is going to happen, I was expecting some kind of jump in October, but it did happen on EB1, but it didn't happen on EB2. So what I'm thinking is that the trend will continue like that for the next couple of years, and maybe next year October we might see a little jump on the EB2, bring it probably to 2009, but I don't see it going faster than that unless we see some radical changes because of the elections and everything next year, congressional elections. So apart from that, the thing for EB2 I think is going to move at a slow pace. So it's basically moving around the same time as a month. So every month is around 1 month. It's going to move like that for a while. And only thing we have to pray there's no retrogression, and I'm hoping there will be none. So let us hope it works out this way. But at the same time, we would like to see a jump, which we were seeing a lot during Obama time. What might happen next April, you might see some kind of move, but it might also get retrogressed. So my best case scenario, I think, for example, by in 1 year, I'm hoping it will bring at least to 2010. But I don't see big movement bringing it to like 2016 or 2017 yet. So unfortunately for those waiting, you will have to wait for a little bit. Unless the law changes and everything changes, it will be hard to deal with that. So I recommend that you keep crossing your fingers and see what happens next. I don't know if the new visa bulletin came out yet, though. I have to double check.
No,
but,
not yet. December bulletin has not yet come.
Okay. Actually, I have a petition online. I've been trying to fight this retrogression. So just check it. Reduce EB2 time for India and China. If you can just sign it and have your friends sign it. If you Google it, reduce EB2 time. Please have people sign it. Maybe it will make a difference. Okay? Okay? Good luck to you.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
So, thank you for calling. And again, for those who are new to our show, this is Attorney Shah Parali, and I am an immigration lawyer. Our law firm is in Newark, near Fremont, and not Newark, New Jersey, Newark, California. And we handle mostly immigration law, including all the aspects of immigration. That means basically employment-based, family-based, and of course asylum and things like that. What we don't handle too much are deportations because they're very time-consuming right now, and we are so busy with kind of helping people with other issues. So we have not really focused on deportation lately, and we're not taking many cases to that end. But apart from that, anything when it comes to immigration, please let us know. We will be glad to help you. And we also help people. One of the things that people always omit, and now they are kind of catching up to it, is the U visa. The U visa is a very powerful visa because it's a catch-all visa. What it does, it pretty much protects you under deferred action and ultimately can get you a green card. It is applied for those who are victims of a crime. What I mean victims means victims, not you being the criminal. Okay, so a lot of people get confused on that. So if you are in a situation where someone has attacked you, for example, or you're a victim of a domestic violence and there's a police involved, and you have actually helped the police. And for example, we have a lot of cases, people working in stores where they got robbed at gunpoint, things like that. We can help you get a work permit ultimately and getting a U visa, and then the U visa itself, after a while, will turn into a green. You can file for a green card with it. So it is a very, very interesting visa. And the good thing with the U visa, even if you're out of status or you entered unlawfully, you might be able to get it. And the same kind of apply when it comes to VAWA. VAWA is a little bit different. Violence Against Women Act. It's under the same law when it was passed, but the VAWA, your spouse, it applies only to if you are a victim of domestic abuses, and that doesn't even require a police report. But you can get it. It requires three things: that you had a genuine marriage, and your spouse is basically either a green card holder or a U.S. citizen, and you have been abused. And abuse can be verbal, can be physical, can be sexual, and or a combination of all. And you can still get that. And of course, the third element is that you have good moral character. You have not been arrested for certain crimes, etc., etc. So putting all this together, you can also get a VAWA. When people don't know if you have been abused, you don't have to stick in the relationship. Of course, try your best to fix things, but at the same time, if you've been abused and you need that, we can help you. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I have more callers, Franco. This is Sharp Radio. You're live in here. Hello? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is a new show. We're starting on Friday. I think it's the first time. I've been on, by the way, on KLOK for now, 7 years. Since KLOK started, I've been in there. Well, I think it started in 2009, but I was in the first show in January 2000. Well, not first show. First show I did was in January 2010. It was on someone else's show, and then after that, we started the show in July. I think it was on July 4th, on Independence Day. We actually started the first show in 2010, and since then it's been going on, and we have had a lot of shows day and night. And at the same time, we have been covering a lot of topics, including, for those who don't know, we have covered the issues of Tri-Valley, where just to let people know, KLOK was really, really the best tool that helped those kids out there, because we were able to create kind of an awareness campaign protecting many people who were victims of this Tri-Valley University's issue. And then also we had the issue of UNNJ, which happened, I think, in 2014 or 2015, where a lot of people got trapped in the system. And of course, we have all those other schools that were in trouble, and we were able to basically use the media to help them. And I wanted to say special thanks to KLOK on this. They were letting us really kind of have the air to really kind of advise people and guide them what they needed to do to be able to protect themselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are covering so many topics. I'm going to take a quick break because my mouth is dry and I have to cover more topics after that. But feel free to call. The line is still open, 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. My name is Shah Parali. I'm a lawyer in California, and our law firm handles mostly immigration law and debt settlement. And you can reach us at 510-742-5887, 510-742-5887, and the website is attorneyonair.com, or piralilaw.com. So anything, again, I'm telling you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. Franco, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back after those messages.
EB1c is an e-solutions company that provides custom web design, web application development, and internet marketing services to individuals and businesses. They can build powerful e-commerce sites, mobile apps, develop content, and market you on social media. They can help manage your brand's reputation and provide rock-solid customer support. Call today at 1-800-651-6091 or email us at info@beerbles.com for a free consultation today. Again, the number is 1-800-651-6091.
The Shaw Purely Law Group and IMI Law Help Inc. are proud to announce the release of the Immigration Law Podcast on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and other renowned podcast channels. Immigration Law Podcast was designed to provide the audience with information on various U.S. immigration issues. The podcasts are unique because they are presented by the prominent attorney, Shaw Purely, covering topics such as B1, B2 visas, visitor and business visas, H-1B visas, L-1 visas, O visas, EB1 visas, student visas, perm labor certifications, national interest waivers, NIW, green cards, and citizenship. Although educational in nature, the podcasts provide a rare insight on immigration news and politics from an experienced lawyer's perspective. Immigration Law Podcasts, a unique perspective on immigration law. Download them from iTunes or Google Play. For more information, visit attorneyonair.com or call 510-742-5887. This is just an advertisement. No attorney-client relationship is created by this ad.
Very good afternoon, Mr. Shah. Thanks for a very good show.
Thank you for the show and all the information that you're providing.
Hi, Shah. Thank you so much.
Hi, Mr. Shah. Thanks for doing this program.
Hi, Shah. Thank you.
Hi, Shah. Thanks for picking up my call.
Hi, Shah. My name is Kunal. Let me thank you for this wonderful show. It's been a tremendous help, actually.
Mr. Shahrali, thanks for sharing the information.
Good afternoon, sir.
I would like to congratulate. It's a wonderful show, and lots of people are getting benefited in different areas like immigration and settlement and all.
Yeah, good afternoon. So, first of all, thank you very much for providing all this useful information. Really appreciate.
I've been listening to your shows. I know I've been listening to your shows only on Mondays, but I from now on I'll try to make it a point listen to it. The other days also. Thank you for doing such a great show.
Thank you for taking my call. That's a wonderful show.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Shah. Appreciate your talk show and daily listener about this, and it's very informative.
Yeah, hi, Shah. Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Hi, Rajesh.
Hi, thanks for taking my call, and first of all, thank you very much for your service to the community. So, thanks for briefing up the current situation. Unfortunately, it's affecting but the good people as well, whose aspiration is this country. Thanks, Mr. Shah. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome, sir.
Hi, this is Ravi. Thanks for taking my call, Shahrali.
Hello, is this Mr. Shahrali?
Yeah, this is Shah. You're live on air?
Yes, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. Good, thanks.
Happy holidays. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the break, Franco. And this is Attorney Shahrali for the Shahrali Law Show. We have started on a trial to start on Friday show. So we are covering topics mainly on immigration. I'll cover some other topics in a few, but right now there's so much going on in immigration that people are really scared. We have to be honest, it's more fear that is controlling everything. And earlier we were talking about EB1c and the waiting time on EB2, which is a nightmare, and of course for India. And the truth is that this is where it gets really tricky, right? The truth is that 90% pretty much of I don't say 90%, I'll push it too much, maybe 70% of the best IT people comes from India. So at the end of the day, US need the people in IT. So I don't know why they're giving such a hard time, unless it's just a kind of an approach which pretty much keeps people hanging and then hanging on their H-1Bs, etc. And they're pretty much not mobile, and unfortunately it's almost like a modern day slavery. Although you're a paid slave, you're still a slave. That's how I think Mark Twain, someone said something like that, but I might be wrong on that. But the truth is that the H-1B itself program is, as much as it helps a lot of people to be in the US, it is a lot of times people are pretty much slave driven on those. But at the same time, it is the only best way that US knows to keep people in the US to help. And the economy, especially in California and Silicon Valley, I always say that the day we will no longer have H-1B, Silicon Valley might be gone. So people should think about that. And just like in some farmland where the day without Mexicans, you won't even have a fruit juice because they are the one who pretty much take care of all the farmland. So it is really a simple-minded approach that the present government has taken, unfortunately, when it comes to immigration. We hope that things will change, and it is. A lot of companies are resisting, states are resisting, cities are resisting, and in fact, even USCIS and Homeland Security, they are resisting, because the truth is that they also depend on that for their work. If everybody will just get deported, it will not be fair. And actually, I was reading an article. I was reading an article earlier. I think it was from the Seattle Times, where a place where they voted for this government, and then now suddenly they're seeing their neighbors disappearing because, unfortunately, many of those people were undocumented and they didn't know about them. And now it's kind of making them a little bit scared because people are disappearing and they're being picked up by ICE, etc. And it is having an impact on the community. It's very easy. First of all, it's always easy to look at things from a simple perspective, or looking at things in a way that you think it's very simple. Take out the immigrants, the job will be back. But the truth is that most of the jobs that the immigrants do, other people don't want to do. And this is where it becomes tricky, because the way you look at economics, you have to actually produce to make more, and then by producing, you need more people, etc., etc. Let me take another caller. This is Shapra. You're live on air.
Hi, Shah. Thanks for taking my call. I actually have a question on interfiling option in I-485 application. So basically, my situation is I was originally under EB3 category, and my I-140 was approved, and then my wife's employer actually filed I-485, where she was a primary applicant and I was a dependent. And her priority date is kind of 5 days away from my priority date.
Okay.
And we are now trying to figure out, should we kind of do the interfiling, since there is my priority date is 5 months earlier than her priority date. So just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
What do you mean by interfiling? You mean taking her priority date, porting it to yours? That's what you mean?
So basically, my earlier, when my I-140 and labor was filed, my priority date was December 2008. But I never filed for I-485. But for my wife, her priority date is April 2009, and when the date became current, she filed for I-485 with being heard as a primary applicant, and I as a second kind of a dependent. And now looking at the dates, we are kind of now thinking about, we still keep the same application, but I kind of become a primary applicant and she becomes dependent on the same application through the interfiling process.
What is your priority date?
December 2008.
And you're on EB3, EB2?
EB3. But I joined a new employer, and through new employer, they filed it under EB2, and I have approved I-140 through EB2.
So basically, your priority date will come first because you are on EB2. So yeah, it is a good idea to file it, but it's an excellent question, because this is the catchy point, because once you file it, what you should do, let her keep for her. What you do, ask them to transfer that I-45 for you, okay? And then wait a little bit. How many days are you back right now? You will know. Don't do that now. Let me tell you how you're going to do that. What you're going to do is watch for the visa bulletin for next month. And you will know 1 month in advance if the date is becoming current. If the date is becoming current, then you file for you. And you don't have to actually file. You just have to ask them to transfer the I-45 for you back here. And once you file it, you will get your EAD. And you can do the same for your wife too, because the truth is that she's 2009, it's both EB2. If one was an EB3, one was an EB2, that means at the end of the day, you have a better chance because you're 2008, she's 2009, so you'll definitely go through first. Having said that, now the only risk is who has the stronger I-140. If your I-140 is weak, like the company doesn't have good reputation or some issues has happened, then don't do that. Stick to that other I-45. So it requires some further analysis, but the good approach will be to take the lowest date and file it. So only thing you have to do is to request that I-45 is transferred to your case, both I-45. You can do that. You can ask your lawyer to transfer that. But before you do that, watch for the visa bulletin. If you see the dates becoming current, you will know it. We will know it in a couple of days. Go ahead and do that. And if you need help, you're getting confused, just give me a call at the office. I'll guide you in more precise terms. Okay? 510-742-5887. But yeah, it is a good idea because both of you guys are EB2. You will probably come first, so you have a better chance this way. Okay?
And unfortunately, what happened is when both of us talked to our immigration lawyers through our employer, both of them gave the same answer, saying that if when my I-140 was approved through EB2, they says if you file I-485 now, your existing I-485 through your wife's employer would get cancelled or nullified. And that's the reason we have been waiting. But after doing some research, I figured out there is an interfiling option where we could still keep I-485.
Yeah. You cannot file two I-45. You just transfer it. I do that all the time. You can even transfer a family base to unemployment and vice versa. So you don't have to refile the I-45. You just have to ask them to transfer it on this one. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay. Good luck to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the kind of issues we are seeing because of this retrogression, and unfortunately, it's hanging. And luckily, we saw some movement on the EB3, and I'm very happy to say that some of my clients who have been waiting, have been with us for years, are getting their green card. But having said that, any option that can make you move faster, for example, an EB1, you should take it. Make sure you do an analysis. It's good to have a second opinion, by the way. You know, the way law works, it's not like mathematics. It's not like 1 + 1 = 2. Because lawyers tend to see things their own way. They can tell you 1 + 1. Some people will tell you equals to 1. Some people say 1 + 1 = 3. It all depends the perspective we look at it. And one of the good examples we have always used is if you take 2 drops of water, you put it on a table, you come in a room and you see 2 drops, you can say it's 2 drops, right? But if I join the 2 drops and someone else come in, I say how many drops are there, he will probably say it's 1 drop. And that's the way it works, right? It's perception. For example, someone can say 1 + 1 = 2, but they say no, it equals to 3 because once if you put a couple, probably there will be a kid coming. So all this are a matter of perspective and how you see things, and that's where it becomes very, very important to have a lawyer who is creative and who can understand how the system works, right? And if you are not able to, with immigration law, just knowing the law is not enough, unfortunately. You need to know the tricks of the trade. Then you can really work on those cases. Sometimes we get it wrong. I'm not saying we always get it right, but the truth is that if you have good experience and you know how to make it work, ultimately you can find solutions, and there's legal solutions, of course, when many people will not see things. For example, we just had the caller talking about the interfiling, and many lawyers just look at it from perspective, oh, you file this one gets cut off. It's true, but what about you transferring it? That's a different story. So you need to really kind of look into things. Even with immigration law, it's permanent learning, right? You have to keep up to date. I myself spend at least 2 hours a day just researching, because that's all I have to do, and that's how I can really kind of know. And basically, I also learn a lot from my clients because we have handled so many cases so far. I don't know. I've stopped counting, and I think consultation I've done more than 10,000 in my career, and cases probably more than 5,000. So if you put all this together, you have a good database and how things work, and And even the law changes, the fundamentals of law doesn't change. The basic principles are still the same. It's basically you have rules, you have facts, and you have conclusions, and that's what we always call IRAC in law school, and that's how we really process cases. Like, we look at the issue, we look at the rules, and we look at the application of the rules, and ultimately we come up with a conclusion. And that's something that has to be done fast. And that's what I do when I talk to people on the phone, or even I talk to clients on a consultation. And that's the trick. And unfortunately, unless you do it on a constant basis, it's very hard to give an answer. And that's why I see many lawyers trying to practice in the beginning. They end up making mistakes and they get in trouble. So even experienced lawyers make mistakes. So imagine newcomers. So it's really, really difficult to assess a case sometimes if you don't have all the facts. So ladies and gentlemen, today we have this new show on Friday. For those who are used to my voice on Thursday, I'm still on Thursday, but we have added this show at late in the afternoon, not late, at noon, pretty much during the midday. And I know a lot of people want to know about immigration law, and as much as I said, if you read on forums or things like that, forums are good to get facts. For example, someone's situation, they might relate it, and you might relate to them. But the truth is that forums are not good places to really get the law, because ultimately the law is what makes the exception, right? And you will get the opinion of hundreds of people. Some of them are anti-immigration. They just go in there to mess with people. So be very, very careful if you are going on forums. And since I'm talking about forums, let me talk a little bit about social media, because this is another important issue that many people ignore. If there's an investigation on you, or there is, for example, a marriage case or something, first place the USCIS go is the social media, because they don't even have to pay an investigator. Most people have everything laid out on the social media. Like someone was saying, they even know what food you're cooking before your significant other knows about it, because it's already on Facebook. So you need to really kind of make sure whatever you're disclosing on social media, you're keeping your confidentiality. And I know people get excited, they post things and etc., but that can really hurt you. I had cases where I go for interviews where the officer tells me clearly, hey, you don't even have to say anything. Look, that person wrote all this on social media. So you need to be very, very careful what you're writing in there. This is very important. So ladies and gentlemen, I kind of jump on different subjects because it's a lot of things happening out there, and a lot of things are getting more and more complicated, because things are they were already complicated. Now it's getting more complicated. So if you need help, you can call us at 510-742-5887. And also, anything I'm telling you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back after those messages. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Thank you.
If you own a property and have a second mortgage on it, and if you want to keep this property and get rid of the second loan, attorney Shaw Parali can help. Call 510-742-5887. Due to the uncertain economy, many people have settled their debts for a fraction of its value. It's recommended to use an experienced lawyer to deal with it. Shaw Parali is an experienced debt settlement attorney and has handled hundreds of such cases successfully. There are no upfront fees for debt settlement. Only when you win, you pay. Call Shaw Parali, attorney at law, at 510-742-5887 or visit yourdebtsettlementattorney.com for a free assessment. This is just an advertisement. No attorney-client relationship is established by this ad. The law does not guarantee success. Call 510-742-5887.
Beerables Inc. is an e-solutions company that provides custom web design, web application development, and internet marketing services to individuals and businesses. They can build powerful e-commerce sites, mobile apps, develop content, and market you on social media. They can help manage your brand's reputation and provide rock-solid customer support. Call today at 1-800-651-6091 or email us at info@beerbles.com for a free consultation today. Again, the number is 1-800-651-6091.
The Shaw Purely Law Group and IMI Law Help Inc. are proud to announce the release of the Immigration Law Podcast on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and other renowned podcast channels. Immigration Law Podcast was designed to provide the audience with information on various U.S. immigration issues. The podcasts are unique because they are presented by the prominent attorney, Shaw Purely, covering topics such as B1, B2 visas, visitor and business visas, H-1B visas, L-1 visas, O visas, EB1 visas, student visas, perm labor certifications, national interest waivers, NIW, green cards, and citizenship. Although educational in nature, the podcasts provide a rare insight on immigration news and politics from an experienced lawyer's perspective. Immigration Law Podcasts, a unique perspective on immigration law. Download them from iTunes or Google Play. For more information, visit attorneyonair.com or call 510-742-5887. This is just an advertisement. No attorney-client relationship is created by this ad.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and this is Attorney Shaparali from the Shaparali Law Group. This is a new show. Like I said, we added that to the week. We're still doing our Thursday show from 10 to 11 a.m. But today we are trying a new time, and we hope that the listeners are there, and we hope that people we can benefit people by our informational educational program. So just to recap today, there are a lot of issues that we talk about. Now this big thing about EB1c, the matter of G, where basically it's talking about the multinational cases, EB1c, and how do you qualify for that, and there's 5 points that I mentioned earlier. And if you missed the show, hopefully I will be able to post this on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Shaparali-Law. And now we're going to talk about something else completely different from immigration, which we have helped for years now, and a lot of people have benefited from it, is debt settlement. This is debt settlement is not a new concept. It's been there for as far as with the law is there probably. But the difference is a lot of people have modified it and created things like debt consolidation, etc., etc. But the truth is that debt settlement is not debt consolidation. What we do in debt settlement, and you can read it on our blog, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, is basically negotiate your what you owe on credit cards, on second mortgages, on lawsuits against you, etc. And we negotiate with the other party, the collection agency, the lawyer going after you, etc., etc., in order to bring it down the value. For example, you owe $10,000, we might be able to negotiate it for $2,000-$3,000. It all depends on the case. You have to show enough hardship to make it happen, but many times people don't even realize they have hardship. So the best way to go with the debt settlement is to give us a call, of course, at the office, 510-742-5887. And for debt settlement, and only for debt settlement, we work on contingency basis. That means when we win, then we get paid. So as for immigration, it's a different story. So you will need to check it out and check yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com. So now we are almost done with the show, I think, Franco, but I will talk a little bit more about immigration because there are many, many things happening and people are panicking. For example, we have those level 1 RFEs that are hitting really strong on people. And there are two things that they are kind of attacking. Number one, they're saying a level 1 doesn't fall into a specialty occupation because to be in level 1, you don't need a bachelor's degree. Hopefully, there will be there will be challenges on those, but ultimately, at this point, they are using that to deny people. They're also saying level one for people who are transferring, people who have been 2-3 years in at their work. They're saying, how come you have been there for so long, you're still a level one? But the truth is that in this industry, it's a very complicated issue, and this is something that is scaring a lot of people. But we are winning them, some of them. We won a couple of level one issues issued through RFE. We have also won cases where basically it gets on a specialty occupation, and H1B. Unfortunately, it used to be when I started practicing, anybody could prepare their own H1B. But now, with all the strict rules, I highly recommend hiring an attorney. I'm not saying that because I'm an attorney, but you need a good attorney who understands all the inside and outside of the H1B, etc. And if you need help for H1Bs, if you're a company or an individual, or you want even a consultation, feel free to give us a call at 510-742-5887. 510-742-5887. So today I had Franco with me, and I wanted to thank him again and again because he really made this happen. And also now I wanted to kind of mention that there are a few things that you need to be very careful. If you're traveling abroad for stamping, a lot of people ask me that question. For example, you're working with a consulting company, and then you're moving and you have an amendment and you leave the country, you will get trouble. Until you have an approval on the amendment, you won't be able to come back. So be careful on that. Let me take one last caller quickly, Franco, and I think we have 2 minutes to go. Go ahead, caller. This is Sharp. Are you live on air?
Hi, I have a quick question on the green card transfer. So I have a I-140 approved with priority date in July 2013. I just changed my job from A to B. If I don't let my employer B start my green card, and if I change to C, is it okay to do so? Because I'm planning to go to C again, change my job again. So is it mandatory to have my I-1 green card process picked up from where my employer A left, or is
No, it's not necessary. It is recommended, but it's not necessary because as long as you have one I-140 in your hand and 6 months has passed, you can use that to get extension on H1B. However, if you have less than 6 months, or if your I-140 has been cancelled, then yes, I recommend for refiling a new I-140 quickly when you move. But you can be having an I-140 with company A, move to B, and to C, then not have them file for your I-140 and then D files. And you can even go back to A ultimately if the times becomes current and they still want to hire you. So no, to answer your question in short, you don't have to. Okay? So what we can do is that now the show is closing, so feel free to call us at the office 510-742-5887. I wanted to say special thanks to KLOK and Gwen for giving us this opportunity, and especially Franco for really putting this together. I wanted to thank you all for listening. Next week we'll be back 10 to 11. Anything I'm telling you today is educational. Please feel free to call us 510-742-5887. Good luck. Take care. Bye-bye.